Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Sorry, I'm meeting you after a gap. I was engaged with something else, so I had to kind of take a couple of days off, so I am back. Now, if you remember, early this year, before the West Bengal elections, we had spoken about what is going to be the future of three leaders after the West Bengal election. We had spoken about Mr. Narendra Modi, we had spoken about Ms. Mamata Banerjee, and we had spoken about Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And your channel had told you that if Mamata Banerjee wins and wins convincingly against Narendra Modi, Mamata Banerjee is going to be seen as the face of the opposition. For all you know, maybe even Mamata Banerjee would be the prime ministerial face for the opposition. Prime ministerial face or not, one has to wait and watch, but very clearly Mamata Banerjee is being seen as the face of the opposition. At least that's the attempt from Trinamool Congress side. We also had told you that Mamata Banerjee, once she wins and wins convincingly, Trinamool Congress will all of a sudden be wanting to be seen as a national party, would want to go out of West Bengal, would want to go in territories which they have not been there before, and that's exactly what is happening. That's exactly what is happening, and that's what you see currently in Goa. Mamata Banerjee is getting into Goa, Mamata Banerjee is getting into northeastern states big time, so Mamata Banerjee is expanding beyond the boundaries of West Bengal. This time around, I'm going to talk about five leaders actually. I'm going to talk to you about Narendra Modi again. I'm going to talk to you about Amit Shah. I'm going to talk to you about Yogi Adityanath. I'm going to talk to you about Akhilesh Yadav. I'm going to talk to you about Mamata Banerjee, and I'm going to talk to you about Rahul Gandhi. So it is 6, my apologies. Let's get right into the show. Okay, so like we know, 2022, in a couple of months, 5 states are going to polls if everything goes fine. 5 states are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Goa, Manipur and Uttarakhand. 5 states. Each state, of course, election is very important. Each state has a very significant role to play, but the focus of this country is in Uttar Pradesh, and I too am going to talk a little more about Uttar Pradesh. That being said, this 5 states election is seen as mini general elections. It's seen as a semi-finals to general election. It is seen as an election where a lot of careers could be made, a lot of careers could go kaput. It is also seen as an election that could change the way things would be seen in 2024. So this election is very, very significant, very important. Like I said, every state is important. Goa is important because Goa is seeing a lot of turmoil. Like I said, TMC is getting into Goa. Punjab, you saw Amrinder Singh walk out, create his own party. Channi, who is the first scheduled caste, being made the chief minister of a state which has got 32% scheduled caste. So all that is happening in Punjab. So a lot of political activities happening all over the country. But like I said, let us talk about Uttar Pradesh, because a lot of things, a lot of situations will change based on Uttar Pradesh elections. Now let's start with what happens to Modi if he wins Uttar Pradesh. If Bharatiya Janata Party convincingly wins Uttar Pradesh, Modi becomes a legendary prime minister. Legendary prime minister is because if they are convincingly winning Uttar Pradesh, which means that 2024 also looks completely tilted to Bharatiya Janata Party and Modi's side. So obviously a legendary prime minister who could go and do that 15 years of being a prime minister in India. The feat that no other prime minister in this country has achieved in one stretch. So that is the first thing. Now let us look at what happens to Modi if Bharatiya Janata Party loses Uttar Pradesh. 2024 then for Modi will look very, very difficult. Then Modi, the supreme commander of Bharatiya Janata Party and the way he runs the Indian government, will lose that kind of control, that kind of power that he otherwise yields today. He may start losing it. That's going to be a very important factor that we need to consider. The fact that chances are with Uttar Pradesh and maybe a few other states, chances are even the concept of Bharatiya Janata Party deciding who is going to be the next president of India will also be kind of shaky, which means that Narendra Modi as a prime minister will for the first time in the last 10 years will be looking at or seeming to be a little weaker prime minister. So this is what happens to Mr. Narendra Modi. Now let's get into the next person, and that is Amit Shah. Amit Shah clearly number 2 in the Bharatiya Janata Party ranking. Fantastic relationship, fantastic working relationship, fantastic coordination between him and Mr. Modi. No problems, no issues. Each of them know what their powers are. Each of them minds their own business. Don't interfere in each other's work. Don't stamp on each other's foot. So everything perfect. But if Yogi Adityanath convincingly wins Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath is not going to go in for Mr. Narendra Modi's chair or Narendra Modi's position. I am not talking about chair. Let's keep the chair aside. I am talking about position in the party. I am talking about power center. He is not going to go for Mr. Narendra Modi's position, but he is definitely, the position that he will be staking claim on would be Mr. Amit Shah's position. Again, I am talking about position in the party. I am not talking about the chair. I am not talking about the Home Minister's chairs. That's not what I am talking about. I am talking about the position in the party. Currently, Yogi is the poster boy of Bharatiya Janata Party. He is the poster boy of Bharatiya Janata Party. He is possibly the ultimate hero of Bharatiya Janata Party's Hindutva. That level of achievement, even Mr. Narendra Modi has not achieved, neither has Mr. Amit Shah achieved. He is the ultimate poster boy of Hindutva. Therefore, like I told you before, even for a Kerala where they don't know much of Yogi, nor they do understand much of Hindi, but Yogi Adityanath is taken to Kerala for a campaign. Because he is the poster boy, he is the brand ambassador of Hindutva for Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, Amit Shah is the strategist for Bharatiya Janata Party. Amit Shah is the person who commands the election for Bharatiya Janata Party. So, the fact remains that somewhere down the line, because Amit Shah used to conduct the elections, used to command the election, Amit Shah had the reins in his hand. And therefore, all these people were under the command of Amit Shah, which Yogi is going to break, and Yogi is going to be as powerful in the party as Amit Shah. And both will, of course, want to vie at Mr. Narendra Modi's space at some point in time in their careers, which could be in the next 5 years. So, what would have naturally gone to Amit Shah will now possibly not go to Amit Shah. So that's a very interesting factor that you need to consider. Yogi may replace Amit Shah if Yogi wins considerably. Now talking about Yogi himself. If Yogi wins considerably well, like I told you, he will take over Amit Shah, but what if Yogi loses? If Yogi loses, chances are Yogi will be cut down to size by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yogi will be cut down to size, and Yogi will now have to pay not only second fiddle to Amit Shah, and of course Narendra Modi, like I always said, is numero uno, but he will have to play second fiddle to Amit Shah. Amit Shah may not want Yogi Adityanath to be as powerful as what he was till yesterday. Amit Shah may not want that to happen. Because now Amit Shah will have more power. Amit Shah will definitely have more power. Not that Amit Shah will be happy that Yogi Adityanath lost, or not that Amit Shah will be happy that Bharatiya Janata Party lost Uttar Pradesh, But Amit Shah definitely will be elevated. These powers will be elevated. He will still be the number 2 in Bharatiya Janata Party. But if Yogi Adityanath wins with a slender margin, very slender margin, and Amit Shah may have to do his political jugglery to ensure that Yogi is brought back into power. And mind you, I believe that no matter how slender the margin is, I believe that Yogi will be made the Chief Minister of Bharatiya Janata, of Uttar Pradesh, my apologies, if he wins. I don't have doubts in that. Because obviously, they have invested too much in Yogi and now they will not change the Chief Minister and all that. So if Yogi is brought back and if Amit Shah has to help to ensure that Yogi is made to sit in that chair, even then Amit Shah will have the cake and eat it too, which will be the best case scenario for Amit Shah. Because Yogi will be sitting in that chair thanks to Amit Shah. And Amit Shah will maintain his position. Yogi, like I told you, will be cut down to size. Yogi will remain like other chief ministers that they have, will remain as a person who will be very dedicated, and the hierarchy will be completely, clearly status quo. This is what's going to happen to Yogi in my mind, according to my thoughts. Now let us come to another person's name, and that is Akhilesh Yadav. Akhilesh Yadav, a lot of people, like we ourselves had said that, you see, when Mamata Banerjee when Mamata Banerjee, if she wins convincingly, she will be like I told you, the national face. She will be the face of the opposition. We said that about Mamata Banerjee. A lot of people ask me, why don't I say that about Akhilesh Yadav? There is a reason. There is a reason why I don't say that about Akhilesh Yadav, and I believe that Akhilesh Yadav, even if he wins convincingly and he becomes the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, he will be a Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. His power will of course grow, his popularity will go. He'll have to play a pivotal role in 2024 in terms of being the partner to whichever group that is being created, or the opposition. He will play a pivotal role in the opposition united, but he will not be the opposition face. The difference between Akhilesh and Mamata is Mamata was the Chief Minister of West Bengal since 2011. 2021, she is still the Chief Minister. And she is going to remain the Chief Minister till 2025. So she has beaten Modi. So that's something that record of hers will be with her, and that's why she will be seen as a national national face and as an opposition face. Akhilesh on the other hand has lost to Modi in 2017. He has lost to Modi in 2017, lost it to BJP in 2017. In fact, if you see the figures, Bharatiya Janata Party in 2017 got 312 seats, if I am not mistaken, and SP got only 47. So he not only lost, he lost badly to Bharatiya Janata Party. If he comes back good, he will regain his lost glory, but that doesn't make him the face of the opposition and all. So I do not believe that he will be a face in the opposition. I again reiterate that he will have a pivotal role to play in the opposition united, whatever that opposition united is in 2024. So that is as far as Akhilesh is concerned. Now let us talk about Rahul Gandhi. I think more than Rahul Gandhi, the pivotal role here will be Priyanka Gandhi. Priyanka Gandhi strategically has played a fantastic card, and that is the empowerment of women card, reservation for women in parliament card. It is a beautiful strategy. It is a beautiful strategy. Will that make her win election and all? Or make her, give her majority in the state and all? No, sab nahi hoga. वो नहीं होगा. All that won't happen. But she will come out as a very, very formidable leader in Uttar Pradesh by 2024. She will be a very important leader in Uttar Pradesh by 2024. Watch this. Take this down. This will be important. She will come through as a very important leader in Uttar Pradesh. So that's one thing. And secondly, if she plays this right, this I don't know, I am just saying, if there is a brand, somebody who is handling a strategy, if this women empowerment sticks to her sticks to her, and that becomes Priyanka Gandhi's brand proposition, empowering women of India. If that becomes her brand proposition, that becomes her single-minded proposition, chances are Priyanka Gandhi can grow with this proposition in this country. Like leaders have grown with certain communities, like leaders have grown with certain castes, leader and Priyanka Gandhi can use the gender, can use women as a catapult to grow and to rise above. So this is what I believe will happen to Priyanka Gandhi, and that definitely will help Rahul Gandhi. That will help Rahul Gandhi. Now Rahul Gandhi, if he manages, his Congress manages to win Punjab, if Rahul Gandhi's Congress manages to win or do well in Goa, win in Goa. If Rahul Gandhi manages to win Uttarakhand, Rahul Gandhi is back in race. Rahul Gandhi is back in race, and if he does fairly well in Uttar Pradesh, his sister does fairly well in Uttar Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi is back in race. And if that happens, you see, all these political aides and their advice will go off, and this entire concept about opposition united will actually be more potent and more fruitful and more practical. More practical, because then people will stop saying that, we can do without Congress, and Congress nahi to bhi we can do all this. Well, that they will stop pretending that, and the opposition face could be more real and more potent if Rahul Gandhi performs well, because then he has a fantastic win to back him. But that is proviso. His party does well in all the 3 states. Now let's get to the last, and that is Mamata Banerjee. In my mind, Mamata Banerjee has done a fabulous job in West Bengal, and she is still riding in that super wave. But Mamata Banerjee also is not seen particularly as a great person who can manage or who has governed a state very well. She is not seen as like that. She is not a great administrator. She is not seen that way. She may be a street fighter. She may be a leader on ground, but she is not seen that. Violence that happened in her state, some statements she gave, it has put a lot of questions as to what are we choosing. Are we choosing an alternative? Are we choosing the same thing in another color? Are we choosing that? So that question, as a lot of such questions have been raised, a lot of such questions are now prevailing. While Mamata Banerjee is seen as a core opposition of the Bharatiya Janata Party, she is seen as a person who can actually lead the opposition to combat Bharatiya Janata Party in 2024. But whether she is seen as a person who is a good administrator, whether she is seen as a prime ministerial candidate, or whether she is seen as a person who can take this country, the leader of this country, is a big question mark. So somewhere down the line, while Mamata Banerjee is still riding high, Mamata Banerjee has still got a fan following, but Mamata Banerjee minus Congress or Mamata Banerjee against Congress will only harm both the Congress and Mamata Banerjee. It will not help, because the anti-Bharatiya Janata Party votes will split there. Will split there. And that's neither good for Congress, not good for Mamata Banerjee. So that's where Mamata Banerjee stands. And Mamata Banerjee, I am sure, will go beyond the political aides and advisors and also understand the situation. She's a seasoned politician. And she's a fabulous, she's one of the most experienced politicians in the country, after maybe Sharad Pawar and a few more. Fabulous politician. So I'm sure she will see beyond all these aides and all that. And I think there will be a time where they will sit together and, like I said, sit in one room and decide what is the future of the opposition united. But this opposition united which I am talking about will be very powerful and will be armed, empowered, if at least 3 out of the 5 states go on for, say for instance, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and say Goa or Uttarakhand goes to the opposition, one of the opposition parties. You have a great opposition. You have a very empowered and a very enthusiastic opposition united that will emerge. If not, then things are going to be very similar to what they were. Bharatiya Janata Party will still be the most powerful party in this country. Bharatiya Janata Party will put their entire might to ensure that 2024 goes back to their kitty. This is what I have to say. This is my editorial for today. Like I said, my apologies. I couldn't be in front of you for a couple of days. I had some personal engagement which I had to attend to. But I am back, and we'll see you tomorrow with another topic. Till then, namaskar.